I think everybody should aspire to be on that. I'm telling you, we have a lot of fun at the TPC. They get to do, every trip is already guaranteed that we take, which we take a lot of them. We do special conference calls with them. There really are connectors to the field at all times. The reality is, I know they get crazy because I try to connect to everybody, and I know I can't do that, but I do my best. So they usually get upset at me and say, just talk to us. But I truly, I value them so much. Before we make any big decisions, before we go down that road, we always talk to and get the input from the field, because I remember being an independent rep and wondering why did the company do that? It has nothing to do with what we're doing. It doesn't match up with what we've been doing. It slows momentum down. We don't ever want to make those mistakes because we are growing, and that's what I want to talk to you about as we close this out. Talk to you about the timing that's here. Just kind of wrap up what we've been talking about here. I tell my story and I go through all that goofy stuff to tell you this. First of all, it's 100% true. Everything I said happened. In Momentus, I want the truth. I want people to tell the truth. In network marketing, it's a known thing that people exaggerate. They exaggerate what they make. They exaggerate how big their group is. They exaggerate. I don't want any exaggerations, because what I've learned is when you exaggerate now, it might be just a little exaggeration, but a year from now, it'll be a monster exaggeration that can hurt everybody. We don't exaggerate. Let's just tell it as it is. Let's be who we are, because if you are, you can be infinitely more energetic if you're not trying to be something you're not. I think, and this is me, this isn't Momentus, but I want you guys to get to know me a little bit. I look for to be blessed here. And to be blessed, I think you gotta tell the truth. That's just how I believe in what I believe in my faith. So let's tell the truth. So when I tell that stuff, even though it makes me look like an idiot, it's the truth, it's what it was. But I also want you to know, no matter where you are in your business, if you're having hard times, which most people are, generally in the company, in any network marketing company, the majority of people are wishing they were having more success. There are always a few at the top, and they get to go up on stage and they talk about it, and everybody's going, I'm a loser, I'm not like them, I want to be like them, I want to have that kind of, but I don't. And especially then when you find out later that they were exaggerating, then it can really destroy all the fabric of what's going on, right? Because then you think nobody's making it or stuff. Let's just be honest with each other, but let's also be honest on what it takes to be successful. I had the exact same opportunity my buddies did that I signed up, those 11 that first day. None of them made it in network marketing. None of them did. I'm the only one that never took the purple folder. I'm not telling people to do this. I'm just trying to explain why I told you that story. I didn't have another option. I think that was the biggest contributor to my success of all, is I never had another option. Now, it just so happened I just wasn't worthy of another option, I guess, but other people get options. And I always tell them, you gotta act like you don't have another option. It's too easy to exercise your other option if you're in the middle of a fight in network marketing. If you're trying to make it happen and all of a sudden something comes along, you're like, yeah, then I'll just always go back to that or something. Our CEO of Just Energy, who is a fantastic human being, he's a great business person, the best I've ever been around as far as that corporate world and how it works, truly a visionary person. Incredible guy, Ken Hartwick. You guys will get to meet him in Dallas. I absolutely admire him, think he's an amazing guy. He told me something when last year, I was tired one day, he calls me up and I go, yeah, you know me, I'm on the road going to this. And I said, I need a break. And he goes, don't take one. And I go, oh, sure, what's the CEO going to tell you not to take one, right? And he goes, when you're in this mode, he said, if you pull back, it's so hard to come back into that mode. He goes, if you really want to accomplish something here, stay in that mode. And so he said, don't take a week, take 2 days. Take something just to refresh yourself and get back into it. And I've literally lived by that, and it's worked. Because I don't want to get out of this mode. I want to stay in this mode because we're still in the middle of the fight. We still have so far to go. But a lot of people think like normal, they apply what they've learned at normal jobs to this. That's not it. It doesn't even exist here. You have the right, the 100% right to work as hard as you possibly can and get paid nothing as an entrepreneur. Think about it. Work as hard as you can and get nothing. But you also have the right to not work at all and get paid 100% from the compensation plan once you started it. Think about the difference. When you marry those two and you understand it, just sometimes it's tough, sometimes not, but if you keep going, it's just a matter of time. So you gotta see the job too. When I started back in 1994, zero credibility, zero money, kept wondering how was I gonna get to somebody else? How was I gonna do this? I asked for referrals. A lot of people don't even ask for that. They're so wrapped up in that moment of trying to sell that person to get in, they're not even thinking big picture. I will tell you this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use somebody here. Big guy, would you come up here for a minute? Do you mind, Carlos? I need somebody strong, athletic here. So there you go, Carlos. Yeah. Well, the hat's backwards. So I thought, man, he's got to be athletic. Oh, you got good tennis shoes. You got high tops on, good, so I can push you a little bit. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
I'm not going to hurt you, I promise. Stand there. Ready? Get your balance. Get athletic. There you go. Right?
Okay.
So ready?
Ready.
You ready? Man, that's pretty strong, bud. You okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
I didn't mean to do anything. Now I want you to do it like I do, okay? Sure. Pick your right leg up. Pick it up. Move it forward.
Okay.
Bring your left up. Pick your right foot up.
All right.
Bring it forward.
Okay.
You did your left there, Carlos, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll help you through it. Carlos, you did a great job. Thank you very much. So, Carlos, did I talk to you before this to tell you what I was going to do?
Okay.
Did I?
No,
okay, you understand me? Good. Okay.
No, never.
Let's make sure. So, no idea what I was going to do. Thank you. So, what happened to Carlos? I've done this all around the world, different languages, translators, every time, exact same response. What happened when I push Carlos? He pushed back. It's a human reaction. They don't even know they're doing it. I want you to get in the business. You need the business. You're going to be great in this business. You're going to make me a lot of money in this business. I start pushing back, push back, push back. That's what I did at the beginning. I was pushing everybody that I could. If they do let you push them, they're weak. It's not going to work anyway. But when you turn to somebody and you say, here, do like I'm doing. Do exactly what I'm doing. Great. And do it this again. And if they don't do it, you stop and go, okay, let's try it again. Let's do it again. When you're showing them that you'll lead them, they'll follow, and they got a chance for success. I didn't tell him before I started that. I push him, he pushes back. He does exactly what I say when I do it. You saw that even got a little confused when I was doing it, which happens in network marketing. Imagine if I just said, okay, pick your right leg up and walk forward. He'd have been like, what? People want to see you doing it. Great, if you haven't ever read Band of Brothers or watched the 10-part miniseries that Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg did, one of my favorite human beings of all time, and I've studied him now, read every book about him, is Major Dick Winters. He was the guy that all his guys, now most of them are passed now, it's really sad, but they got video on them and they've been talking, but they've been meeting every year since back in 1945. They've met every year, these Band of Brothers, this 101st Airborne, incredible guys. They were the tip of the spear in World War II, the highest casualty rate of anybody, of any section of any armed forces that were in it, right, any of the Allied forces. So these guys are bonded from war. And when they talk about Dick Winters, it's almost like, I love him. They all, when he walks into a room, these guys are 80 and 90 years old. They still stand up straight. They still address him a certain way. That is respect, because when he led them, here's Dick Winters used to go around. They pay him to come to Harvard to teach and all these other places. He's real selective where he would go teach his leadership philosophy. And here he'd come in and be this big buildup, and he'd say, okay, ready for the leadership philosophy? 2 words, follow me. Follow me. How many people in this room are expecting somebody else? In the back of your mind, your business plan is, I'm going to find somebody good, hopefully down the road, that's going to go build this. That was what I did forever until I joined Momentus. I'm not joking. It happened to work out better for me because I happened to find really good people. By the grace of God, I found great people. And so I got to ride that, but that only reinforced for me that I could find other people that were going to do it. It wasn't until I decided it was going to be up to me to go do this. I was going to recruit everybody. I was going to train everybody. I wasn't going to stop. I was going to set the example. I went through all those years pretending. I'm not exaggerating. Now, I wasn't pretending all the time, all the way. I was pretending 5% of the time. So I was 95% committed. But that's a death sentence in network marketing. You have to be 100% committed. And then you get into that weird area, right, which is what I'd never understood, is that I all of a sudden sold out to Excel. Man, I was Excel all the way. I should have been McWilliams family all the way, using Excel as the vehicle, which I need to protect, wash, make sure its oil's changed, take care of it, make sure nobody's scratching it or stealing it. I need to take care of that vehicle, but it should have been about me, because then you have true love, because it's your family, it's your life that you're changing. Then you have an infinite amount of energy in here to go do what you have to do. It's incredible. I was watching the day. I was flying, and I got online, and I watched a video. Actually, I was really happy I got video. I had actually Netflix for a little while, too. It was a really big thing in my life because I travel so much. And I watched this video, and it was a lady. I think it was Connecticut or something, and she's like 22 years old, and the car crashed, and she says, and 2 witnesses said she picked the car up and moved it off of her father, who was elderly, had flipped out of the window, and she picked it up and moved it. I think it was Connecticut or Illinois or something. What? Have you guys ever heard about people moving cars? How can that be? Is that possible? Yeah. Thousands of pounds? You ask most people, here, hell, I can't move it at all. I'll hurt my back. I wouldn't even try, right? They'll say. And yet this woman picked up a car and moved it they were all crying talking about it. How did she do it? It's amazing. Motivation. Motivation. What's your motivation? I had no other choice. I thank God I went to those meetings. I remember going to this training, and it was the Presidential Wave Tour of 1994. I'll never forget it, like yesterday. And I'm walking through there, and I sit down about halfway back, and I got Leon with me and Casey and a couple of my buddies, and we're watching it. And Rick and Brenda had just gotten in that week, so they were there, and I put them up in the $1 million seats like I was supposed to do. And I'm sitting there watching, and I hear this guy, Paul Orbison, talk. I hear Al Thomas talk. I hear Jay Smith talk. I mean, Russ Noel. It was incredible, this group of people. I was like, wow, unbelievable. And I walked out of there and couldn't do anything with my business. I remember thinking, that was so motivated. I was so excited. The whole way home, all we did was talk about it. The next day, Casey and Leon did nothing, and nor did I. Because it doesn't take just excitement. It takes commitment. It says, even when you don't feel like it, you're going to do it. My children, my 4 beautiful kids that I love, and I can't wait to see tonight, I tell them all the time, Daddy, what's it? I want to do this. I want to have that. I say, you know what one of the key points in life is? And I believe it separates successful people in almost every endeavor compared to people that are not successful, is that if you wait to feel your way into action, you will fail in Momentus. You must act your way into feeling. The best way I know how to talk about this is if you've ever worked out, if you've ever been somebody that exercised, and you go, I do not want to exercise at all, but you put on the clothes and you go do it, you get a few minutes into it and you're like, yeah, now I'm ready. You're moving your way through it and you're going. It's just like Momentus. You can have all these negative thoughts about network marketing, where you're at, all this stuff, but you get into a present, now you're excited. You have to act your way into feeling. If you wait to feel it, you're never going to do it. There are other things that can distract you. You know, most of our society is built around distraction. They're trying to distract everybody. If you're unhappy, go to a movie. I know that we have reps in our company that when I talk to them, they can tell you everything that's happened in every sitcom out there. And yet when I see them on a Saturday morning, they come in there and they come out and they're crying and they're sincere and they're telling me it's not working for them. How'd the Olympics go? I watched every day, all day long, I watched all the Olympics. My business is not very good right now, Andy. I think we need lower rates. You can't escape. This is one of those times when you have to be, and it takes me to the one thing that I had to learn, and I'm just sharing with you from me, but the one thing that I had to learn, and I believe turned everything around, is I became honest with myself. And I'm telling this to all the leaders out there too. Everyone that's in this room, you must start with being honest with yourself. I see 2 guys talking in the back. One of them, I want to hear this. Be honest with yourself where you're at. If you don't start there, you have no shot. Don't act like you're really working hard. If you're not, just tell it like it is to yourself. Because you know if you're not telling the truth. And let's not pretend. I said you're probably not going to like me during part of this. It's the truth, though. I'm just telling you because I know if I come to you and I tell you what Momentus is going to do, and you're lying back to me about what you're doing, and I'm lying to you about where we're going, what's going to happen? It's going to end. But if you're working as hard as you can, I don't care if it's an hour a day. I'd rather have an hour of honest work than you tell me you're doing 3, and I'm telling you the other BS, right? The BS meter's got to just stay off. Just never come back on us. We don't need it. Just honesty. Honest with yourself, honest with where we're going. So let's talk about that. Right now, Momentus sits at a crucial point. And absolutely, this is that moment. We're coming up on that moment. We've added all these services, which can be confusing to people. You add a bunch of different services, so we put them into categories. Energy services, where it's available. Essential home services, things everybody uses all the time anyway. And then we're going to add something called Rep Toolkit, which will be things like, not right now, so don't think it's going to become, but cell phones, things like that. So you can pay yourself for using the tools that you use out there. There are other things we've got that are really cool that will be coming along that I think will have a major impact on your business. I'm dying to tell you something, but I won't right now. So those three things, it doesn't work if I do it, honestly, but it's, there are ways to reduce your cost for gasoline. There are ways to do this stuff. We're not doing it because we'd start a company to do this. They're just ways we can do this by big companies that want to partner with us. Everybody's asking us. It's amazing. All these big name companies that have brands and stuff are coming to us saying, we want to do business with Momentus. We want to be a part of what you're doing. So it's incredible. But the energy services, we can't change where it's deregulated or not. We can't. But this opportunity was not ever built around just the energy services. So if you live in Nevada, where deregulation hasn't occurred yet, or you live in Texas where it has occurred, you still have the same opportunity. What we're doing is preparing when deregulation does occur. It's already been federally mandated. Everyone knows deregulation's happening. It's going to take some time, but you are going to win the game if you have more outlets, more representatives in a state. When it launches, that's gold mine time. That's when you get it. But you can also make a living, and our message is always around opportunity. Have you guys noticed that some companies start, they go to $1 billion, 500 million, whatever it is, real fast, and not many of them do, but the ones that have, but they're wrapped around one thing, a juice or a pill or a timing or something, like this energy, just having one energy thing, and then all of a sudden the market changes and things change a little bit. Now they're going down. They have to reinvent themselves. So we said, let's bring a suite of services together so that if one goes away, okay, it went away, but we still have 10 other things that are awesome. And then we can add and make it smart and really make sense. And every rep should have everything we offer. If you don't, it's hurting the company. You know, oh, wait a minute, Andy, I liked everything you were saying up till right then, because that's going to cost me some money. What are we talking about? You think that any of the TPC members don't have everything we can offer? You think all of our top earners don't have everything we can offer? Don't you think that it takes that? And I'm going to tell you, it takes it more than anything because you have to be honest with yourself. You can't ask people to do something you're not even willing to do yourself. Try everything we have. If you're hurting and your family can't afford something, be smart about it, but be honest about it. I would take it, but I can't afford it. So that as people see you grow, they'll understand the change, the real change that happens in your life. But do exactly what you can do. Don't shortcut it. It's not worth it. Too many times reps are sitting there, they know they haven't even taken everything they can afford, what they can actually take, and they're sitting in front of somebody trying to be, I'm the guy, I'm the gal, I'm the one that's really going to get you going. But in the back of their mind, they're thinking, I'm not even doing everything I'm supposed to. And it affects that presentation. It's the energy that comes off them. I'm telling you, it's just part of how it works. When I started in Excel all those years ago, we used to drive around. I'd drive hours to go put one person in. Hours. And then I started thinking, I was like, what? This isn't efficient, right? And we started training on people not to do it. I was like, well, how come it worked for me? Well, part of this, when you drive 4.5 hours or 5 hours, you don't have a lot of money, all of a sudden they go, man, you did that? It's something in the effort. It's something seeing you sacrifice, you commit to it. I have people that don't drive 20 minutes because of traffic. I watch people show up at our office in Dallas, and they come in every day, and every day they're there, but they don't make any money, or they make a little bit of money. I said, what are you doing here every day? They go, well, I'm coming to work. I want to be a part of it. No. There's sincere effort here. There are only some things that make money in Momentus, gathering customers or sponsoring reps. If you're not doing those things, those money-producing activities, then what are you doing? You're wasting your time. I want everybody in here to make it, but I already know not everybody is. But you can. You can do it. Don't let this screw it up. If you don't like what I say, don't let it screw it up. It doesn't even matter if you don't think anything about me or about the person sitting next to you. Whatever it takes, you focus on that and you get the job done. You commit to it and see the job through, which we have a couple years here. We got to go to work together and we got to work hard. Now, we party every 90 days. We throw a party, we'll recognize you, have fun doing it. And we've got some incredible stuff to talk about that. We have, we're doing a cruise in November I think it's the first week of November. Then we've got, a couple of trips coming up next year, one of them to Hawaii. Yeah, which we'll be talking about September 14th, 15th, and 16th. How to qualify for that, how you'll get a chance to be there on that. Man, is that going to be one for the ages to get to do that. We are going to start doing getaways, retreats, so that you might be able to, here in Nevada, we might take you up to a mountain, I don't know where, and sit for a week and have fun, enjoy it, but also train on what to do, and your people can go along with it. And this is how you build a culture in your company. By the way, our company's still building that. That's why we're in that foundational stage. You're at the perfect place, perfect time, but it's going to be moving. It's liquid. It's moving along. You got to stay moving along. You can't go, I'm here. Thank you. It should work for me. I tried that. It didn't work. Work like crazy when it's good. When the momentum's with the company, work harder than you ever would. Because when it goes down, when it changes, it changes. It's difficult. This is our chance to do something. Every time I speak to a group of people, I worry that I'm going to come off as arrogant or like I know it all about network marketing. I don't. It's human nature. It's people. I absolutely don't know. I just know where I want to go. I just know where my family, what we're willing to do. I know I'm past the point of asking permission to be successful in Momentus. I now deserve it and I want it. I've earned it. And I'm not going to stop until I get there, right? Same thing for you. You got to earn it. And honestly with yourself, you have to earn it. You have to earn it. Now you might be one of those few people that finds somebody better than them that's already earned it and wants it and goes and takes off, and God bless you. You're one of those examples. But the majority of people have to go out and make it happen for themselves. And this is our time to do it. And we'll give you the system to do it. You have great leadership here that can show you exactly how to do it, how to take the step, what do you do after that, take the next step. They know how to do every part of it all the way through. So I stand up here, please don't think I'm being arrogant. As a matter of fact, that's what I worry about. The one thing I pray about every day is that I don't come off like that, because I believe that arrogance will destroy this company. So I don't want it, and I don't want our company to have it. You know, I always am conflicted with people that are of different, they come from different backgrounds. I don't want anybody to ever feel like Momentus is for everybody. I don't care where you are, what you've been. It's a company of redemption. I don't care if you've got anchors, drop them off, leave them alone. We don't care. We care about where you're at today and where you're going. But don't bring those things with you. Because if the bad activity happens, I'm going to find you and we're going to cut you out. I'm just telling you straight up. We're going to protect this company. But that being said, I stand in front of a big group of people that are all looking at me. I just have to say that I know I'm blessed. I'm not blessed because of the money, even though I've had money and not had money, and it's much better to have money. Everybody would agree with that. But I'm blessed because my wife and children never blinked, never even wavered a little bit when we didn't have it. When we were at our worst point, my wife never anything other than just, baby, I believe in you. I know it's just temporary. Let's go do it together, whatever it takes. Just that kind of attitude. That is what I say every day. Lord, thank you so much for blessing me with this woman. Thank you for these kids. Thank you for this parents that created a household so that I always felt like I was the champ. That a household that said you can do any and be anything you want to be if you'll do that. My brother's in the back too, that I happen to have my brother who is my best friend as well, sitting here getting to travel around with me, that we get to do this as we get to help other families help themselves and be that example. But I never take that for granted. So when I say my prayers, which I pray all day long for this company and for everybody in it, the book that I read, it always is talking about for divine providence to come upon somebody, there has to be an act of faith. I understand, even if you don't believe that, which is okay for you, still, I believe there's an act of faith here. There's something that has to be done where you don't know what it's going to be. The Apostle Paul, in my book, says that you have to have the faith to call forth that which is not and make it so. Think about that just for a minute. Just forget who wrote it. Just think about what it says. To call forth that which is not, how you design your life, what you think you deserve, what your life can possibly be, and then make it so. Go to work until you get it done. Don't stop. Don't let anybody steal it from you. Don't let anybody slow you down. Go to work. Fight for it. Fight for it. Throw somebody out if they don't want to hear it. You decide who you talk to. You decide who's in your team. You decide. We don't do it arrogantly. We do it because you're on a mission. People that are not on a mission do not understand missionaries. It's just part of life. They go, well, why would they do that? So what? That's not the person to talk to. There's a system for success that's being taught. Part of it will be this personality stuff that Kenny is talking about, where we'll introduce it, but there's a very just defined, go out and do discovery. Ask questions. Ask them if they're open to business. Ask them if the timing is right in their life. If it's not, don't push them. They'll push you back and you'll waste your time. If you'll understand that I've been doing this for 18 and a half years, there are people in this room that have done it for longer. You never run out of people to talk to. Don't believe the hype. You could talk to me today, and I say no, I push back. 2 months from now, I lose my job, my family is whatever. Maybe I just got tired of my job. Maybe I just, tired of watching everybody else be successful. You talk to me, same person, at different time, and I do the business. You never run out of people, never. The question is, will you run out of your personal energy? Will you run out of your personal focus before you ever get to them? You are one person away. Every single person in this room, today could be your day, July 17th, 1994. This could be your day. And you won't know it when you go to bed tonight, but if you opened your mouth and you talked to somebody and you recruited somebody and they said yes and they get started, that could be the day that your life is totally different. You won't ever have to worry about money again. It just has to happen now. But you've already done it. You've already planted the seed. It's already there. But if you don't open your mouth, how is that going to happen? It's not. It's guaranteed not going to work if you don't do it. I was talking to my 13-year-old son, AJ, who is the one that I talk to most about this stuff. So it's just weird how the personalities are born with them, right? So my son was talking to me about basketball, and he said, Dad, I want to play this year. Why not? He goes, I just don't feel like I'm going to be good. And he said it differently, but that's basically what he was saying. And I said, so your idea is, you're worried you're going to fail? And he goes, yeah. I said, so your idea is you're just going to fail for sure by not trying? And he goes, no, yes. Oh yeah, I'll play. I go, right, and he walks off. I wish everybody could understand it like that. So what if you're bad? I was horrible. I used to go watch people do trainings. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I've been treating everything wrong. I remember thinking that in so many trainings. Holy mackerel, I've been training everybody the wrong way. But I was doing the right stuff because I was out building the business. Do the right stuff. Be that example of success. I will pray for you guys. I promise you that. As I stand in front of you, I know, and someday I'm going to have to meet my maker. And you say, I put you in front of 150 people in Vegas. You didn't mention me, so now I did. And but I also want you to know that I know that I answer to a higher power. So what we're doing here, I believe that I literally have to serve the most, that I'm here to help you guys to do whatever you got to do. There's no way we can do this if we don't come together as a team. This is our moment to do it. This is Vegas's moment. This is your chance right here. This is your moment to make your stand and go fight for it. If you'll do it, you don't have to wonder where I am. I'll be screaming from out front, follow me. God bless you guys. Have a great time. See you in Vegas.